On page 10 this morning in The Sun, it says the Prime Minister must move harder and faster to halt this influx. And they have a big piece about how the white paper basically is not enough. And lots of numbers, 150,000 plus migrants crossed the Channel to the UK since 2019. 108,131 people who claimed asylum in 2024. That's up from 84,000 in 2023. 12,000 approximately people have crossed the Channel by small boat already this year. The list goes on and on and on. There are a number of very, very good numbers in that piece. Alp, very good morning to you.
Good morning, Mike.
Good to see you. I mean, we spoke about this yesterday, and you've written a piece of The Sun today along the lines of how bad the situation is, because clearly, you know, Keir Starmer's woken up and smelled the flowers, and now suddenly seems to believe in stopping migration significantly, in his words. I'm not sure we really buy that, but what do you make of it?
The more I look at it, the more I think this was rushed. It hadn't been thought through. There's lots of jam tomorrow in the white paper, and no clear indication when it's all going to be implemented anyway. I just believe that the government doesn't mean it. They're reacting to political developments as much as actually intending to reduce migration.
Right. And it doesn't appear, really, does it, that he's changed his mind? I mean, let's have a look at what Kemi Badenoch tweeted out yesterday as a montage of what Starmer's previously said on immigration.
We need to make the wider case on immigration. We welcome migrants.
Should immigration be reduced?
Well, I don't believe in numbers, and I don't believe in salary gaps.
We've always welcomed people to work in this country. We could get a more positive route which didn't take us into the place of, numbers or quotas, or, you're only worth having it, you can earn a certain amount of money.
What about foreign nationals living in the UK? Should they get a vote?
I would like us to look at that.
The Labour Party's been a bit scared of making the positive case for immigration for quite a number of years. I think we need to turn that round. The whole of the United Kingdom is better because of immigration.
So yes, I believe in this. I believe we need to reduce immigration significantly.
Can you trust this man? Very good question. Certainly his previous would not suggest that he wants to stop immigration at all. In fact, quite the opposite.
Well, a couple of things that I picked up in those clips. Numbers clearly do matter when he says they don't.
Yeah.
Giving people the vote, migrants from Commonwealth countries do have the vote. And that, I think, is something that we should be talking about, not giving more of them the vote.
Yeah.
And as for being better off for immigration, well, clearly even the OBR now is saying that we're not, that there are costs, and it's very much a case of making us poorer rather than richer.
Yes. Well, it couldn't possibly be a good thing, could it, to have net migration over the course of the last several years running very high and close to almost 1 million people. And when you talk about the net migration figure, quite often the sort of overarching migration figure is more than 1 million people. Sometimes in some years it was 1.2 million, but you saw that other people were actually leaving, so the net migration figure seems lower. But you can't add practically 1 million people to a country every single year and expect it to have no negative impact, can you?
No, and the thing that everyone's been talking about is our becoming a country of strangers, which has echoes of a speech that was made in 1968 by a certain Enoch Powell.
Yes.
The fact is, it's true. We are becoming a country where essentially there are more and more people, ethnic minorities, who form a bigger and bigger proportion of the population. And with net migration continuing at the present rates, within the next 25 to 30 years, in fact, there are going to be more ethnic minorities in the country than there are native British.
Yes.
And that's something that really does concern people, and that is what Keir Starmer was alluding to yesterday when he referred to being a country full of strangers, or being a country of strangers.
Yeah. But why has he suddenly started noticing it now? Because it's been like that for a few years.
Well, it won't have escaped anyone's notice that Reform did rather well a couple of weeks ago in the election.
Yes.
That's what it's all about. And I'm sure, before I say that, Mike, can I just say this as well? What Keir Starmer said yesterday about strangers, that wasn't an accident.
No.
He knew exactly what he was saying because he wanted us to be talking about it. And my goodness, he's done that. 2 or 3 years down the road, people won't remember what's in the white paper, which is pretty much nothing anyway, but they will remember the fact that Keir Starmer appears to have seen the light and done a U-turn on his views on immigration. It hasn't happened. That isn't true, but that's what's going to be in people's minds, and that's why he said what he did.
But I think also he has to be careful, because this is the kind of thing that people can see, right? It's not like, you know, you're putting up some fiscal policy that may or may not have a reverberation on the markets that nobody really notices, or that you maybe even take, you know, money away from benefit claimants, or money away from pensioners or farmers. This is something people can see on their everyday streets. Every single day they go out of their house, they can see the immigration and the effect it's having on their community. So if he doesn't change that, then he will once again be accused of being, you know, a paper tiger that just says things and doesn't do anything.
Well, it won't change anything. The paper yesterday really was confirmation that nothing will change.
Yeah.
All the vague stuff in there. When is it going to be implemented? How is it going to be implemented? What are the details? There's lots about how the system isn't working, but very little about how he is going to get the system to work.
Right.
And apart from legal migration, of course, on our screens daily are the pictures from the channel. And that is going to go on and on for so long as we remain in the ECHR. And again, yesterday, he made absolutely crystal clear that there's no question of withdrawing from the ECHR.
Yeah.
So whatever he's trying to do and whatever perceptions he's trying to change, in truth, the sort of paper that was issued yesterday suggests that underneath there's nothing that nothing substantial going to happen. And secondly, the pictures on our screens of 600 young men, as happened yesterday, crossing the channel and coming here, are just going to continue. So people are already thinking, hold on a moment, does he really mean this?
Yeah.
What is he on about? And they know full well that he doesn't mean it and it isn't going to happen.